We invite you to watch how we clear the views on all matters through our partner station MITV on DSTV channel 255, 7 p.m. daily, and also our YouTube and Facebook pages under one name, Clearview News Desk every day. We call it The People's News, as we are available to come over and cover your events upon notice. Or do you have news you want us to broadcast? Send it in. We verify and go to town with it. All for you. Go ahead, engage us to thrash out those naughty issues on the news. And what we need from you is to share and subscribe. More important, convince your loved ones, friends, relatives, co-worshippers, and more to subscribe so as to be getting notifications as we break the news. Go a step further, like the news, and drop your thoughts on the comment section. Clearview News. We clear the view one time and for all time.
Hello and welcome to Clearview News Desk. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. First, the headlines. Three prominent figures, including commander of the Benin Republic Presidential Guard, arrested on suspicion of coup d'etat. Do you know that an internet fraud academy exists in Nigeria? Well, this is on the authority of the Nigerian army, whose men arrest the owners. Over 100 teenage fraud undergraduates have been lured with a promise of training them in Bitcoin and forex trading in Warri. Influencer and activist Very Dark Man clarifies statement, says he did not defame legal luminary Femi Falana. According to him, what he said was the truth, nothing but the truth. I am Imefonokun with this and more. Prosecutors in Benin Republic announced on Wednesday that three prominent figures, including the commander of the Presidential Guard, have been arrested on suspicion of planning a coup d'etat in the small West African nation. The two others accused of plotting the coup are a former sport minister and a businessman with close ties to President Patrice Talon. According to Elon Moro, the special prosecutor at Benin's Court for Financial Crimes and Terrorism, the alleged coup was said to take place on Friday. The court said Umki was detained at around 1:00 a.m. on Tuesday as he was handing over 6 bags of cash totaling 1.5 billion West African CFA francs to the commander, Jimon Dudon. According to the court, Boko, known as a longtime friend of President Patrice Talon, was arrested separately overnight on Monday in Benin's economic capital of Cotonou. Boko, it was gathered, had recently started indicating that he will make a run for the presidency in 2026 when Talon's second term in office ends and is prohibited by the constitution from running again. Meanwhile, Umki resigned as sport minister after urging for support for Boko's bid to succeed Talon. Boko's lawyers and supporters, however, denounced what they called his adoption and called for his immediate release. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana says manipulation of the constitution by some African leaders has continued to pose a serious threat to democracy. Falana made the assertion at the NLC National Symposium in Abuja that Nigeria economy and the crisis of survival, robbing the poor to pay the rich. Clearview News correspondent was there and now tells us more.
Up to 3 years ago, all the member states of ECOWAS were under one form of civil rule or another. Don't call them democratically elected government. Civil rule. 3 years ago. But what has happened? We have recorded 4. The number is ongoing. Chad. Now Gabon. They are all close to us.
The human rights lawyer Femi Falana's comment comes on the heels of recent coup in Africa. The latest was in Gabon, where soldiers seized power ending decades of the Bongo dynasty's reign, a development that has triggered condemnations from within and outside the continent. Falana speaks on the leading causes of coup in the African continent.
The immediate causes of coups in Africa today: third-term syndrome, manipulation of constitution, military bases. You know, today, America has 29 military bases in Africa. France has 15. Soldiers are protesting because these foreign members of these foreign bases are receiving salaries as if they are in their country, and they are living above the ordinary soldiers in Africa. So the soldiers are also protesting the differential treatment between them and these foreign troops.
Falana also speaks on other African countries where coups are likely to happen soon.
Now, the guy in Togo also expects something soon. In Togo, he and his father have been in power since 1963. Just like this guy who has just been removed, he and his father have been in power for 56 years. Even if you're a traditional ruler, there are people who are waiting for you now. For you, one ruling house, we call them ruling houses. One ruling house can never be allowed to spend 56 years in the African traditional, political system. So why are these guys pretending that we are running a democracy? And like I said, Senegal is the only country that has not experienced a coup in West Africa. But if care is not taken, that country will go under soon because you are the man. Macky Hall, who said he wanted a third term, and people said no.
The human rights lawyer also accused Nigeria's ruling class of taking the people for granted. According to him, despite the poverty experienced in the country, the National Assembly is busy allocating billions to the lawmakers.
I know the remote causes are the ruthless exploitation of the mineral resources of our country by Western companies. Lately, Chinese companies have joined them. They loot the treasury, just like Commander said, $9 billion worth of gold smuggled out of Nigeria yearly. Not by the poor, but by the rich, with private jets and helicopters.
Recall that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has earlier described the wave of coup in Africa as a contagious autocracy. Imefonokon reporting for livenewsupdates. A total of 1,937 terrorists, including 65 terrorist senior leaders, have been neutralized, while 2,782 suspects have been arrested and a total of 1,854 kidnapped hostages rescued in the third quarter of the year 2024 by troops of the Nigerian military in theaters of operations across the country. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, made the disclosure at a press conference this Thursday in Abuja. Let's now join Clavius Gloriata for details.
The Defense Headquarters Media Briefing provides a platform for members of the public to be updated on the activities of the Nigerian military in the ongoing battle against insecurity in the country. According to the Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, ongoing operations of troops across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country from July to September 2024 have significantly diminished the military capabilities of terror groups and denied terrorists the ability to carry out major offensive attacks against innocent citizens. General Buba said troops' offensive actions in the last 3 months have led to the neutralization of several notable terrorist leaders, commanders, and combatants across all theaters of operations.
The troops in the third quarter of this year neutralized 1,937 terrorists, arrested 2,782 suspects, and rescued 1,854 kidnapped hostages in the course of the third quarter operations of this year. Furthermore, troops recovered 1,304 weapons, 43,347 ammunition, and we denied the oil theft of an estimated sum of over 13 billion naira during the course of our operations in the third quarter of this year. Troops of Operation Delta Safe neutralized 6 violent extremists, arrested 447 persons involved in crude oil theft, even as they rescued 48 kidnapped hostages. The troops also denied the oil theft of over 12 million liters of stolen crude oil. They denied the oil theft of over 2.6 million liters of illegally refined AGO, as well as over 6,900 liters of illegally refined DPK and over 31,000 liters of illegally refined PMS during the period.
While stressing that ongoing counter-terrorism and insurgency operations across the country prioritize the killing of terrorist leadership and the destruction of terror infrastructure, the defense spokesman highlighted the significant progress recorded in aerial bombardments across different local government areas occupied by terrorists.
The air component of Operation Delta Safe conducted air interdictions on several illegal crude oil refining sites within the theater of operation, destroying over 100 of such sites, including boats, vehicles, among several other equipments destroyed.
The military high command further assured Nigerians that the military is on high alert with a reassured commitment to protecting the country from further terrorist aggression and oppression. Gloria Atta, reporting for Clearview News.
Men of the Nigerian Army have arrested operators of an internet fraud academy where over 100 teenagers have been lured with a promise to train them in Bitcoin and forex trading. According to the Delta State Police Command, on Wednesday, the soldiers from the 3rd Battalion Nigerian Army Barracks stormed an estate in the Warri area of the state and arrested over 100 suspected internet fraudsters. The school was reportedly engaged in training cyber criminals. Meanwhile, the suspects have been handed over to the police for further investigation and prosecution. Deputy Director, Save the Children Program Quality and Development, Yemisi Nhonweze, says the younger generations contribute the least to climate change, but yet suffer the most. Nhonweze made this assertion at a child-led conference of Parties COP29 stimulation in Abuja. She noted that a secured future for children can become a reality when their voices are heard and also if they are sufficiently equipped with the needed tools to make the real change. Clearview News correspondent was there, and I'm Telso Small.
Moving towards 2024 UN Climate Change Conference, COP29, Save the Children Deputy Director, Program Quality and Development, Yemisi Nhonweze, said children are not the most affected by the climate crisis. However, they are the ones who will lead the charge in finding sustainable solutions, hence the need to engage them in the same complex discussion at the international climate negotiations so as to give them a voice in the climate action process.
Investing in children is not just a moral obligation, it is a social investment. Children are not only the most affected by the climate crisis, but they are the ones who will lead the charge to finding sustainable changes and solutions. They are the future advocates, the future scientists, the leaders. To secure our future, we must listen to their voices and equip them with the tools they need to make real change.
In an open letter to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and other decision makers on how to save Nigerian children from the impact of climate change, recommendations were made by some children at the event on how to curb climate change in Nigeria.
If we don't react to this dreadful thing, we may lose our home, the only home we've ever known with does climate change affect Nigerian children? Pollution and deforestation are taking away the clean air trees and plants provide, leaving us with polluted air that is harmful to our lungs.
Your Excellency, the well-being of Nigerian children is closely tied to environmental health. Addressing deforestation, waste management, crowded buildings, and flood is essential for safeguarding their health and future. We urge your leadership to take decisive action on these critical issues.
The future of Nigerian children hang on the balance. It is our collective responsibility to act now. Climate change is a ticking time bomb and we must defuse it before it is too late.
Applauding the NGO Save the Children for the initiative, stakeholders at the event pledged their commitment to collaborating with the NGO.
We encourage each of you here to share your visions boldly, collaborate, and learn from these discussions. Remember, every action you take, no matter how small, contributes to the larger goal of a sustainable planet.
I want to say that FME is ready to collaborate with the Save the Children International because we believe in doing all possible to ensure that our students are taught and our students are enlightened in this area so as to save the Nigerian environment.
Let's continue to remember that together we can inspire, and equip these younger generations to promote environmental sustainability both locally and even on a global scale.
Going forward, it is expected that decisive actions are taken to limit global temperature, reduce emissions, and increase investment in climate adaptation measures, particularly those aimed at protecting the most vulnerable, who are the children.
If you are just joining us, you are watching the news on Cleveland News Desk. We'll be back after this break. Stay with us.
We break the news.
This is Christ Embassy.
Recollect, we were the first to break this. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of Kano State has approved the appointment of 3 second-class emirs. And this?
Erasmus is the most successful program of the European Union to support education and youth.
And this?
Fubara is not an ungrateful person.
And more.
Tension is currently mounting in Rivers State. The planned arraignment of Yaya Bello.
Across our platforms. Subscribe now and you will be receiving our notifications and never left out as the news breaks on Clearview.
Welcome back. An influencer and activist, Martins Vincent, popularly known as Very Dark Man, has clarified that he did not defame legal luminary Femi Falana. The clarification by Very Dark Man followed a threat by Falana's son, Folarin Falana, popularly known as Falz, to institute a defamation suit against him if he does not apologize and withdraw his defamatory comment within 24 hours. Stating in a letter by Very Dark Man's lawyer, DG Adejanju, Very Dark Man, who holds Falana in high esteem, said he posted the audio recordings to allow for a thorough investigation by relevant authorities in Bobrisky's allegations, some of which have been confirmed by Falz. Grassroots football is a passion-filled game that captivates thousands of amateur players around the world. While it may not generate the same level of fanfare as a professional league, it serves an even greater purpose, providing the needed opportunity for people with a common love of sports to come together and bond through competition. In the special report, some talented FCT youth in an exclusive interview with Cleveland News correspondent said football is a career they intend to focus on and earn a living.
Whether it's just for fun or with the intent to dominate their local scene, there are countless stories of success found in grassroots football. Grassroots football is the future of football, and so many opportunities are being created for players to become more involved in the game, both on and off the pitch. Some FCT grassroots players speak on their motivations as they aspire to be among the football stars across the world.
Play football because right from the beginning it's a passion. I derived passion for it from when I was childhood. I always watch it. Then I derived this passion. Then I put in strength. I put in more effort. Then I discovered that I can do better than even people I was looking on the telly. So that is why I go to football in the first place. Yes, the next 2 years, by God's grace, you'll be watching me on the telly, live telly. So I always dream of that one, and I know that I'll be putting all the work.
Personally, it's a personal decision. Yeah, I chose to play football because I have the love and the passion for it. You understand? So I feel like this is my own way of, expressing my feelings and expressing the way I feel. So that's why I play football. It's every footballer's dream to, travel abroad. But for me, I think I want to play in England because I like, the competition over there, EPL, Man City to be precise, because I'm a Man City fan.
I chose to play football because it is a God-given talent. And the kind of impact I want to make in my life and the society at large, I feel is only football that can give me, because I feel if I go to school and graduate and be a salary earner, that being a salary earner won't give me the kind of money I want to, and I want to earn and help my family and my society as well. So I chose to go with talent because it's what I can do best. My plan in the next 3 years or 2 years is to be in Europe, Spain to be specific, playing for my dream club Barcelona. I'm a Barcelona fan, so I love the club and I love the city.
Football is something that makes me happy. It's something that when I'm doing it, I am always happy. It's not something that you have to force me to do. Starting it, my friends was not in it, So they didn't support it because maybe they don't know then, they don't know the benefit of it then. So, but I have to, out of strong head and stubbornness, it's something that makes me happy. When they saw that, they don't need to tell me under the rain, under the sun, I'm coming out to play. Even when it's raining, I will carry my boots, I will take my jersey, I will run out of the rain to go and train, So even under the sun, we used to come out and play. So when they saw that this thing, that they cannot stop it, so they have to let it go. They have to support me, So that's why I'm here. I want to see myself in Manchester United. Yeah, I want to see myself at the top level football, playing at the #1 league in the world, which is the Premier League, and playing in Manchester United. So that's my dream club.
I choose football because I love it. That's what I want to do to help my family. I also want to go to school, but I'm done with my WAEC GEM, senior WAEC, so I need to put all my effort in during this stage now, so I can make it. So when I get to that side, I can continue my studies. So I want to see myself in a greater height, in a higher level, in a higher stage. It could be one of the biggest clubs in the world.
As I was going in my life, like the way my life was, I saw football was the best thing I can do because that is where I am good at. So that is why I came into football. That's why I decided to play football. I would like to see myself in a greater height, and very, very top peak. Like I know the next 10 years, my name will be heard everywhere. Like I'll be one of the superstars that we'll be hearing about.
FCT coaches believe bringing youth together can keep them away from social vices across the country and expose them to professional and big-time clubs in the country and agents in Europe.
Yeah, you see, honestly speaking, when we say grassroots, it is already dead before now, because then, far back then, there is what we call Shell Cup. There is what we call all these school tournaments. But you see, this time around, you don't even see those things. So now we go extreme to the local villages, where you see maybe all these raw talents, which they need help. You understand? In most of those villages, you can't see any scouts coming to those places. You can't see any white man coming to those places. So we harness them from those sites, bring them down to the town, then add more talents to them. That thing we see in them won't kill it. Now we can only bring the beauty out of what we see in them. Getting these talents out and doing the football business is capital intensive. It's not just, a layman cannot just go into that business and say, yeah, I want to do the business. Because one, you need a camp, you need a facility, you need to feed these boys, you need to take care of them, you need to do. If you are not meeting up to that expectation, then definitely the Yahoo business will still come in. I doubt if government can assist. The only way we want government to assist, let them give us facilities.
If football can be focusing well in Nigeria,
there will be a lot of young boys who will leave the street for street crime, snatching of, a lot of things that's going on now, snatching of phone, kidnapping, armed robbery, all those things. When they are engaged with their talent, I think the rate of crime will be reduced.
You can see whenever a player come in the morning and train, the next thing is to go back and rest. He's thinking of coming back in the evening. So his mind is football, football, football. And all over the world, everybody can testify now. Football is the best business all over the world. So by doing that, by God's grace, they will run away for every social vices. I know that.
Experts believe the country's neglect of grassroots football has caused big damage to the nation's football development. Grassroots football was established to scout, identify, develop and catch talent young, as well as raise fitness consciousness and mass participation in sport and recreation activities amongst Nigerians. And that's the news, but before we go, a recap of the top stories. Prosecutors in Benin Republic announced on Wednesday that 3 prominent figures, including the commander of the Presidential Guard, have been arrested on suspicion of planning a coup d'etat in the small West African nation. Men of the Nigerian army have arrested operators of an internet fraud academy where over 100 teenagers have been lured with a promise to train them in Bitcoin and forex trading. We also told you that influencer and activist Martin Vincent, popularly known as Very Dark Man, has clarified that he did not defame legal luminary Femi Falana. You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube at Clearview Desk, or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Clearview Online. Many thanks for watching. I am Imefonuko.